Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and the gift that keeps on giving, Representative Mad Maxine Waters. Wow. Maxine Waters demanded AG Barr be removed. It's blindsided by Robert Mueller. Representative Maxine Waters recently demanded that Attorney General William Barr be impeached or removed from office for lying about Special Counsel Robert Mueller's findings in his report. However, she was just blindsided by Mueller with a letter that blows up the Democrats' entire Russia hoax. Mueller wrote a letter to Barr on March 27 that said the media was taking the findings in his final report out of context. In his letter, Mueller encouraged Barr to clean it up and provide more information. However, Mueller admitted to Barr that the Attorney General did not mischaracterize his findings, the media did. Buried deep in a report from the Washington Post, of course, which published the letter on Tuesday night, Barr called Mueller and spoke to him directly on March 28th about the letter and the special counsel's concerns. The Post admits that Barr explicitly asked the special counsel whether or not his 4-page memo to the public, which summarized the top-line findings of the Mueller report, was inaccurate. Mueller said no, meaning Barr's summary was accurate. There is now public confusion about critical aspects of the results of our investigation, the letter read. This threatens to undermine a central purpose for which the department appointed the special counsel, to assure full public confidence in the outcome of the investigations. So we now have the media and Democratic lawmakers spreading another completely untrue narrative to attack President Donald Trump. This began when Mueller sent a letter to Barr that said the findings in his final report were being taken out of context. When Barr called Mueller and the two spoke, the special counsel explicitly stated that the Attorney General did not mischaracterize his findings, the media did. Mueller explicitly told Barr there was nothing inaccurate about his 4-page memo to the public. Aside from this lie being exposed, Mueller's report clearly vindicates the president. Earlier this month, Barr put the final nail in the collusion coffin and reiterated countless times that Mueller found no evidence that Trump, his campaign, or any American colluded with Russia during the 2016 presidential election. So that is the bottom line. After nearly 2 years of investigation, thousands of subpoenas, and hundreds of warrants and witness interviews, the special counsel confirmed that the Russian government sponsored efforts to illegally interfere in the 2016 presidential election, but did not find that the Trump campaign or other Americans colluded in those schemes. Barr said he consulted with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, and they both determined there was no evidence to charge Trump with obstructing justice in the Russia probe. The president has been completely vindicated after the 2-year Russia witch hunt. Barr and Mueller have made it clear that there is no evidence of collusion or obstruction. The central point of this is that it does not matter what is said, or when, or by whom. The Democrats' goal is to overthrow a duly elected, innocent of all charges, president. They ran with collusion before the inauguration even began, demanding special counsels and demanding that he not even be allowed to take the oath, all but demanding that the 2016 election just be ignored and Hillary Clinton be declared president. When they couldn't do that, they got Robert Mueller put in as special counsel. 2+ years and millions of dollars spent, and there's no evidence of collusion. There was no obstruction. No one was fired. Comey was fired before the investigation began. No one was intimidated. No one was obstructed. The only thing they have is that Donald Trump repeatedly called it a witch hunt, which it was, repeatedly told the entirety of the country and the world, in fact, that he was innocent of the charges against him, which the report or the investigation found. We're now quite literally hearing that protesting something that you feel is wrong is obstruction. Meanwhile, liberals are free to, quote-unquote, protest by swinging a bicycle lock on a chain, or causing thousands of dollars in property damage, or just trying to stop the traffic in a city completely. We have a complete break in the government. The Democratic National Committee, the DNC, is now fully on one track, that being seize power by any means necessary. Maxine Waters tells her sycophants to get in their faces, push back, let them know they're not welcome anywhere. Meanwhile, they say nothing or they blame the victim when someone wearing a Make America Great Again hat is harassed or, even worse, possibly assaulted. They jumped on the bandwagon with the Covington Catholic kids and now they're just ignoring it now that we have video proof that Sandman, who is not a Vietnam combat veteran, walked up to the teens who were being harassed by the black Israelites and chose to try to, well, let's say, diffuse the situation by getting in the children's faces and beating his little drum and doing his stupid little chant. Now, of course, the children standing there doing nothing, not pushing him, not moving, is just horrible. They were just horrible racists, and they were harassing that man who approached them, did not try to get past them, and began playing his stupid little drum and making his stupid little chants in their faces. Luckily, these teenagers have a lion of an attorney, and he's going to make some people very, very, very sad they did this. Unfortunately, they won't be Waters or Pelosi or Schumer or any of them. Thankfully, we do still have people who know how to handle this. William Barr, who testified today for the Senate Judiciary Committee after being harassed horribly and defamed, demeaned, and slandered by Democrats, was still able to prove that they're all wrong, because while they were saying that he ruled incorrectly on collusion and obstruction, the Mueller report, which is available free online, proves there was no collusion. And since the investigation was never stopped, no one was fired, unprecedented access was given to the Special Counsel, and so on and so forth, there was no obstruction. We're going to, unfortunately, though, have to push until we get Waters or Pelosi or Schumer or Feinstein or Harris or any one of them to openly say the president said he was innocent. He said he wanted to stop the investigation. That's obstruction. Not obeying us is obstruction. We're going to have to push until they go over the edge and actually say, not doing my entire bidding 100% of the time is illegal. Then and only then will most of the country hopefully see the tyrants in the making that are hiding behind the D under or at the end of their name. Notice none of them are really vocal at all about Venezuela, where people who were disarmed a decade ago are now being run over by trucks and shot by a tyrant's military. No, they're focused on impeaching a man who did nothing wrong. They're focused on spreading lies. I'm honestly waiting for one of them to ask Attorney General Barr, why haven't you released the report? Just so he can say, it's available on the internet. You are free to go look at it right now. Just so we get, no, it's not. I don't have it. You didn't bring it to my office, so you didn't release it. We have to, unfortunately, have proof on live television or video that they actually believe they are above the rest of the world. And when they say jump, you are to ask how high. But I've talked about this long enough. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Also, remember, keep it civil. We only learn from debate. We do not learn from argument. And please make sure to like, comment on, and share this video, as well as to subscribe and activate notifications so that you're among one of the first few to know of new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.